Good morning, amigos. Top of the morning, Red Nation. Thank you for the cup of coffee. You help support the channel by watching this video and liking it. Those bringing my donations, my virtual donations. So, all right. So I'm listening to talk radio this morning. They're talking about illegal immigration, voter registration, and they were saying that a lot of illegal aliens, not just from our neighbors next door, but from all over, because everyone loves to come to this country, and how relieved a lot of immigrants feel now that Biden's in office, right? And it made me think, where do you think a lot of his votes came from for him and Kamala, as Trump would say, China? Where do you think a lot of his votes came from? Or both Biden and Kamala's votes came from? Illegal immigrants. Because I've said before, a lot of people who not necessarily didn't think Trump has done stuff for the economy, but because they hate him, they voted for Biden. Instead of doing what's best for the country, right? Instead of doing what's best for everyone as a country as a whole, and taking my personal feelings about saying, hey, he's doing good for the economy. Our borders are secure. The economy's booming before the whole COVID-19. You know, he's checking people in other countries not to be messing with us. He's done far more with North Korea than past presidents, right? He doesn't play. He lays down the hammer. And I think a lot of us get entertainment from him as well, because he checks those news reporters. I mean, I think it's all entertaining when he just checks them, and they're just like, how dare the president talk to the news people like that? They've hated him from day one, right? But I think about the whole topic of voters, voter fraud, illegal immigration, all that stuff, right? Because who's better to gain from that than illegals, right? Taking a breath and saying, I feel better. I feel like I can breathe now because Biden's in office. And, you know, you had your people that voted for Biden because they hated Trump, not because they thought Biden was better. And then you have the other half that voted for him not because they like Biden, but because they wanted better security as far as being able to stay in this country. But in the end, everyone's going to be hurt economically, even the illegal aliens, you know, that come here, that looking for work. When the economy plunges, you don't give a damn about who's in office. You just want the country to be running. And that's the thing, is like checks and balances. It's figuring out, okay, I'm coming to this country because of jobs, a better life, better health benefits, you know, just a better way of living, freedoms, etc. But if one of those things don't align with your agenda, and you're like, I like this, and this, but I don't like the immigration thing because that impacts me. So you're willing to sacrifice the rest of the things that make this country great for you to come to for that one reason. But when that one reason turns a tide on these other things, and you get here, and the jobs and the economy and just the way of living is not the same, then what was the point? But, you know, like I said before, you can't reason, you cannot change the mind of some people. I've seen this time and time again with family, people arguing, even myself. You know, you try to make a point in your household, and they look at you like you're crazy, or they look at you like, come on now. The other side does the same thing, and it's like, there's no winning. There's no winning that argument. There's no winning or convincing the other side or the other opponent. You cannot reason with them. You can't make any logic. You can't even get them to say, you know what, you're right. You made a valid point. And I had this discussion with another family member, and I said, you know what, I'm willing to sit here and admit, because a lot of people do this. A lot of people have said, I admit, Trump is not my favorite guy. Trump says stupid shit sometimes. You know, he could work on his political, behavior and act more presidential. But there's a lot of things that he's done to make the country and the economy better. But because they hate him, they can't stand the fact that he checks you. He puts you in your place. He tells it how it is. People don't like that. They want fluffy. They want, like, make me feel good, give me a medal, give me something, right? Tell me I'm doing a good job when I'm not. Just give it to me. And that is the problem with the country today. We have these new millenniums, whatever you call them. They're about to run the country. And the rest of us are me, you, people my age and older. We're old to them. We're old news. It's like it's out with the old, in with the new, and we're losing that battle. We're losing it because we don't have the time or the age to fight back. A lot of you are going to say, I don't give a damn. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Yes, keep doing what you do. I'm not saying just give up and die and roll over. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the reality is we're losing that battle. We're losing the battle to keep up and win the fight, win the argument that life is better the old school way. Life was better doing things the other way. You can't convince these people, man. I mean, unless you buy a lot of land and you build this utopia, which a lot of homesteaders do, and they go and they have acres and acres and they homestead, and they're living. You basically have to buy land to live in your own world, to do things you want to do, to go hunt, to be able to shoot freely and not have law come and say, well, you don't have enough acres over here. In order for you to live the American dream, the old West, the pioneer days, the days of really freedom, or at least come close to it, is you have to buy acres and acres and acres of land and put yourself right in the middle so that you don't have anybody at least a good 30 miles from you. Just, I mean, and I may be overshooting that because I know most of us can't afford that, but even a good, 20 miles on either direction, and say, no one is going to come near me. It's quiet. No one's going to mess with me. That is the only way to live the American dream now. Otherwise, you're going to be in a cluster F with everybody else, overpopulation. People continue to come here. I don't even remember people being this populated, or it being this populated growing up. It was rare when you met somebody from Russia or Japan or Italy, It's like, and now it's like, it's just every day. Everyone is all over the place, and it's not that you don't want people here, but there has to be some regulation. How many Americans do you know, and not that Americans don't go to other countries, but how many Americans do you know are flocking to other countries to say, oh, everyone keeps talking about the jobs, the economy. I want to live over here, I sure as hell don't want to move out of the United States. I'm not going to be one of those, he's not my president, I'm moving to Canada. I'm not gonna stoop to that level. I'm not gonna say he's not my president. You know what I'm gonna say? He's not my problem. That's what I'm gonna say. Not he's not my president. He is the president of the United States, or will be, so they say. And then fingers crossed still that they flip it. But if they don't, and shit goes to worse, I'm just gonna look around at people and be like, yo, dumbasses. And I'm gonna say, not my problem. Adios.